we have to check if we are both in the frame.
Who's going to do that?
The last thing we want in this life is to be talking the whole time and you're not inside.
I know.
2,000 years later.
New location, who this? We are inside the Plush Sparkle and Shine Studios inside East Lagos, and you're always welcome to come by. Sparkle and Shine has got the name, great makeup, great customer service, beautiful space, so you can pass by anytime. Welcome to my channel, and this is the second episode of Books and Notes. The last one was with the sponsor of this series called A Lady Who Loves to Read. So this is the official first one with the public. And thank you to those who reposted the flyer. People even reposted on Facebook, but unfortunately I couldn't see the hashtag on Facebook much. So sorry. So you have to just do it through Instagram. Okay, just go to Instagram and repost. So we are reviewing A Time to Part by Ghanaian author Ama Pomaa. We will get into the book and you will know whether I have to read it or not. So quickly, let me invite my guest, Kafui. Her handle on Instagram is @Ohema, right? @Ohema. Yeah, so keep watching. Okay, so I have Kafui here. I actually know Kafui in real life, but she went through Instagram. So guys, just go through Instagram, okay, to get featured. Okay, so we read this book together. Actually, when I gave the book to her, I hadn't read. So I sent her a message that we're reading this book next week. The next day she said, I finished reading. Meanwhile, I hadn't even started. I was like, what? So I had to quickly go and read the book. And so, Kafi, first of all, what kind of book is it? Fictional, historical fiction, fantasy, romance? Like, what kind of book?
It's fiction.
It's fiction. Okay. And was it a difficult read? Was it a challenging read?
It's easy to read. The words are simple. It's like something everybody can read.
Okay. So what was the theme of the book generally, in your opinion?
Okay, so unlike most books or other books out there, this had like it really made it clear that the Godfather, it's a Christian book. It's a Christian book, and I think it centered more on forgiveness, and then reconnecting with God. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Central.
Okay. Who are the main characters?
The book is about a girl called Jasmine, her brother Kojo, and then their former housemate Doris. And you have Doris' current boyfriend Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and then Eva.
Hey, you remember all their names? I don't remember all the names.
Kojo's wife, Eva.
Who is Eva? Oh yeah, Kojo's wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Selassie, and finally Hagen.
Those are all the people in the book.
Dr. Hamilton and his wife.
Why you memorize their names?
Dr. Hamilton and Pastor Hamilton. Yes.
Oh.
And then Deputy DSP Atoparina.
It's okay. Now you're doing the most.
No, you asked the characters.
No, I asked who is the main character.
The main character is
you
Jasmine.
mentioned all the family members in the book.
The main character is Jasmine and her brother. The main characters are Jasmine and her brother.
Okay. Run us through the book first, in a nutshell, and then you tell us about your favorite character and why you connect with them.
Okay. So, the book is about Jasmine, like I said earlier. Jasmine and her brother, but she's actually the one the story
Centers around.
Yes.
Okay.
So her mother is a foreigner,
Right.
and her dad is a Ghanaian.
Okay.
So yeah, she grew up in Ghana, lovely family. Her half brother, who's the Kojo, they grew up together, love just one reason.
Yeah.
And along the line, her father, I don't know why, but just turned into one monster and then started molesting her.
Mm-hmm.
That really ruined her life.
Yeah.
It really did.
And we didn't know about this. We didn't know about the molesting, the rape.
So it was like, I think it was more than halfway through the story.
Yeah.
I think also when we found out, it really did a lot of harm to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then her brother, who was supposed to have looked up to her, also decided to just turn her back on her and her loyalty, and then focus on their father's money, because the father was a rich man, and the father promised the boy that if he denied the girl's story, he was going to make him his heir to all of his property.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very rich man. And the sad thing, which was very heartbreaking, was that her mother killed herself when she found out that this was happening, that her father was.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Well, her mother took her life because she found out that her father was touching her, Jasmine, and her mother could not confront her father.
Oh.
And then she didn't want it to come out there. She didn't know what to do. So she just took her life in the bed just to end it all.
Oh wow!
And
I forgot that.
yes, that really hurt Jasmine a lot because usually mothers are protective, they raise with their children. But this mother, in this case, she did it more or less to protect her marriage because she'd rather die. People seeing her marriage was as a perfect one.
Than face the shame.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about Hagan coming into the story, and then what changed when Hagan came into the scene.
Okay, so when Hagan came into this scene, I think we began to understand what really went on in Jasmine's life and in Kojo's life.
When Hagan came back from medical school, what happened?
He received news not too long after that. His sister, who had been living with his uncle, and his uncle
Was it his
wife,
real sister?
No.
They've adopted her sort of.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Was living with an uncle and his wife, and then she was working as a housemaid, and she was raped by her boss. Hagan's return into the scene did us a lot of good because at the time, Jasmine was contemplating suicide. So Hagan coming back to the scene, and then she receiving news about Hagan's sister Selassie made her really think.
And I think her father's friend, the lawyer. Hey, you remember his name? So lawyer Daku got in touch with Jasmine that he wanted to hand over his firm to her because he was growing old and all of that. So he gave her the case to handle.
She was supposed to support him,
right?
Just do random interviews, investigations for him, facts for the case.
So through that case, then she bumped into Hagan.
Yes, she did.
She had to go and visit the girl who had been raped, and then she met Hagan.
She actually accepted the case because she had a personal relation to Selassie.
Yeah.
Because before things went bad with Selassie, with Hagan, Selassie was a little girl who loved her, who always wanted to be around her.
Yeah.
So she just had she felt emotional, so she decided to take up the case. But if not for Selassie's involvement, I'm sure she would have just walked away.
Yeah. So Hagan comes into the scene and he meets Jasmine on this day that he didn't know he was going to meet her, and then God starts dealing with Hagan.
His return to Ghana. I mean, if it were me or just anybody, I mean, you were in Ghana, your life was ruined, you went out, you got a chance to go to England. I don't think anybody would have returned. Much less with an accusation as rape. And not just anybody. Jasmine Morrison, I mean, she was big.
Her daddy's big.
Yes, I mean, you wouldn't want to come back. You don't have anything left. But he listened to the voice of God, and that's something that's very, 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 very difficult for most people to do. Even
how do you know the voice of God? Somebody was asking my office, a colleague was asking me, how does God speak?
Well, personally, I've heard God speak to me, not like loud and clear. Well, I've heard on some occasions, but most of the time it's my heart. I just feel the urge to
an impression in your heart. Yeah.
Yes,
some people hear audible voices.
Some people through their dreams.
Yeah.
At this point, they just reading the scripture, and then one thing I really got from Hagan, and then hearing the voice of God was like through worship. Like, and you can see that he was not joking with his Christian life. That's one thing that's very important. Because you cannot be a lukewarm Christian, or you cannot be playing games. God will, he won't know you. He will not register you as his. So even when he speak to you, I'm not sure you would even hear in the first place. Yes, so you can see that he was really like
striving to be a good Christian.
Yes, because even to leave England and come to Ghana, like it's a huge step. And from the book, you can tell that he's a very bright student. He was a very bright student. So I'm sure there were even opportunities in England waiting for him just to like flourish. But he had to come back to Ghana.
And when it got to a time where he had to forgive Jasmine, that was where like God's voice to him was tested a lot,
Well,
but it was really hard.
It was a test of his faith, because I got a point. Okay, now I'm back. I'm willing to forgive you, Jasmine. Just explain to me why you accused me of rape when I didn't even touch you. And Jasmine was not even willing to talk to him. I mean, just explain to me so I just forgive you. But that was what made it so difficult. You know, it's when somebody offends you and then they explain to you. You even sometimes it's difficult. So what the reason behind whatever they did. Forgiving them is difficult. So here, like the case now, she was playing games. She was actually being very rude to him. He just said, "Still, I forgive you." And
I
was
think
very big.
I think that's one thing I learned from the book about forgiveness, that you have to forgive, even not like you don't need to know the reason, but whether you know the reason or not, just forgive.
And then or more or less, like you have to forgive whether or not the person feels sorry. You have to forgive.
Yeah.
That's very difficult.
Because
the people who offend you and they know you are hurt, but they actually take delight in seeing you like hurt. So they just keep on. They either keep on repeating those mistakes or just make fun of you. Yeah. So forgiving is not just like, but oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. No, even when they don't feel remorse, you have to just forgive them. That's very big.
Yeah, and I think that's one major takeaway from the book, because before even Jasmine came to later tell the story, apologize and all of that, he had decided to just forgive it and let it go. And another thing about hearing the voice of God is Doris's side with Greg, her boyfriend. Yes, talk about
Doris, a very good Christian, and you could see even from her infancy, her mom used to take her to church, so she grew up as not as a Christian, a good Christian. There was even a part where Kojo was making a joke that if Jesus Christ had to be born in mud in today,
then he was through her.
Yes, because she doesn't joke with her Christian life. Greg was a good guy from looks of it, bringing her lunch at work every day, making her feel comfortable, not pushing her to do anything that she didn't want to do.
Yeah,
I mean, they never got physical, unlike her previous relationship with Kojo. Kojo had always been forcing him.
Yeah.
Greg was just patient and calm, and he didn't even bother to even do things with her. So on the low, that was even a plus. That was like a good sign that
good guy.
Yeah, that this is heaven sent. But you could tell that even deep down, she was not comfortable. Her spirit was not really too happy with Greg. She was telling her spirit was telling her there's something very off with Greg, and it just made me realize that when you're with somebody, it's not just the butterfly feelings, like the chocolate they buy for you, the cake and everything. It's like, is your spirit very calm with them? If you take your time and you actually listen to your spirit, like you would realize that there might be something off. Yeah, you should actually be paying a lot of attention.
And so as we were coming here, I was saying that God speaks to our mind, our conscience, and through our intuition too. Because sometimes you just feel that something is wrong somewhere, and you should listen to that feeling. Sometimes we say, "Oh, something told me that I shouldn't go," or "Something told me that I shouldn't go." That something is God. So God speaks to us through different subtle ways, and for whatever reason, something didn't sit well with her about Greg. So we later found out that Greg
murdered Kojo's wife. That's
Eva. Kojo was her ex-boyfriend.
And then one thing I realized about Greg a lot was that he was very bitter. I'm not trying to condone his actions though, but I think if Doris had tried to understand Greg, she could have actually helped him.
What kind of understanding?
Anyway, if you look at Greg's character, it really made me understand that peace comes from God. Like peace, calm, love really comes from God and doesn't come from anybody else. It also made me understand that if somebody is not in God and they say they love you, you should actually begin to question whatever
they mean by love.
Yes, because Greg was very bitter. Very bitter. Very, very
Why
bitter.
do you say that?
I mean, he was hurt by the fact that thanks to Kojo, Doris would never be able to have a child again.
So before we wrap up, I wanted to talk about dealing with their past. Everybody has to deal with their past in different ways. Which one did you resonate with the most?
I did learn from Dorothy.
Okay.
Her connection with God helped her a lot. And then she going the extra mile to pray for Kojo, even after all that he did.
He's done.
That was really big for me. It made me understand that if you forgiving somebody is not just I forgiven him. I forgiven him. If you're not able to go on your knees and then pray that, oh God, please help this person, or you're not able to say a prayer and then feel peace, then you're not forgiven.
When I finished reading the book, I had to admit that there was somebody that I say I've forgiven a person. I pray for the person that God maybe take care of him, let everything be well with him. But I heard some good news about the person, and I wasn't jealous. I don't know what the word is, but I was like, maybe I wasn't expecting the person to do that well. I didn't know I had that going with me till I finished reading the book, and I was like, wait, hold up. So like, am I really forgiving this person, or what am I doing? And I was feeling really bad. That, hey, what kind of Christian am I? What's her name? Jasmine.
Yes.
She had to get to that point of letting it go, and she had bottled it up for the longest time. Until, she had to come to her breaking point. She found the note her father left her, why he did what he did. I just said, what can you do? It's too late. I think that as true Christians, it's one very important mark, because Jesus loved us when he hadn't even come to die. When he created the world, the foundations of the world, he forgave us before even coming to die for us. So I mean, as Christians, I think that we should, generally as people, when you forgive, it's even free to yourself. You are healed and free in your mind to live a better life. And on the thing about moving on from your past, that's another major takeaway for me, because I was telling a friend that I was dealing with some things in my past, and it had to get me to a point of remembering the things. And it's not that I pretend that it didn't happen, it happened, but I don't want to remember them. And I read another book. I hope that we review that book sometime soon. I read a book I finished last week, and like Karen Kingsbury. And when I finished the book, it also had to do with remembering. And this person was remembering and being happy that she was remembering her pain. Anytime she remembers, she cries, but at the end of the period, she thanks God for what she went through and how God took her out of it. And I felt like God was telling me that if I'm asking you to remember something from your past, it's for two things. From a place of gratitude, not to make you cry. I don't want you to cry. That's not why I'm telling you to remember all the bad things you have done, all the things that have happened to you. But I want you to remember from a place of gratitude so that you can thank me. And then another major thing was, if I wrote in my journal that if there is no past, there is no story.
That's very true.
Then how are you going to tell the story if you don't even remember your past? So I think, and Jasmine had to come to that point eventually.
She really had to. She tried her best to forget, and it wasn't helping. But then eventually, meeting Hagen, trying to help Selassie. You know what she did? What she did with Selassie. Her thing with Selassie was she took up the case also because she felt sentimental towards Selassie, but she thought Pastor Hamilton was guilty. So her idea was that, okay, my father molested me once. Nobody took any form of action towards him. Okay, so let me do this for Selassie. In a way, like I'm trying to do what nobody could do for my father. And that was very, very, very wrong. So when eventually she came to the point where she was able to remember, I think she became grateful. She became grateful. And then in the end, when everything was summed up, when the story was coming to an end, you could see that she was very thankful for what God has done for her, where she came from, where she's got to. The difference. I think she even appreciated what she had been through because I think then she began to appreciate Hagen's love. She began to appreciate her family, and then her new niece. It really was really like a really good experience.
Yeah.
Overall, I really like the book. This book teaches me. It talks about something that is not really told about in the Ghanaian society.
What's that?
in Ghanaian Christian life, it's live right, live pure for God, hey, no fornication, no stealing, no drinking. You got to pay your tithe, offering, come to church, come and clean.
And then it shall be well with your soul.
Yes. But this part of like, are you okay? What you've been through, let's talk about it. You even have people who have a lot of burden on their heart, and then they go to a church elder or somebody who they can talk to, please help me. And then you end up, let me just say this, I had an episode in my life. It was very bad for me. And then a pastor's wife, a reverend's wife actually reached out to me. Halfway, are you okay? I can help you. I'm a mother, like a mother figure. Someone ended up judging me. I nearly took my own life. So
What?
She made me feel like I was very stupid, very worthless. I haven't told it to like just a few people know this. It was very bad. She judged me. It didn't stop one. It didn't stop there. She actually you know when you have a fight with your girlfriend and then like now you post on your status trying to be petty and you're like, girl, I can do without you, and like bite to all the haters. That's what she did to me.
What?
Hey, it was not easy for me. For almost 2 days, and it was like a woman I thought
You
was a mother.
trust, yeah.
Yes, I actually opened up, broke down. She actually called me names. I cried. I really cried. Once recently, when I thanks to this book really did a lot of good to me. I went to see a counselor. I spoke to her about it. I'm looking forward to seeing her again so we can finally resolve all of these.
You know, when you finished reading the book and you sent me that WhatsApp, I was driving to work when you sent it. When I saw the message, I almost cried. I was so moved. I was like, because when she finished reading the book, she was like, she thanked me for reading the book and then sent me a long list of things that have changed, like mentally, like she's going to see a counselor. And I was like, oh my god.
It's before I read this book, I was feeling very, very like indifferent. You know, when there were like youth activities, youth all night, youth evangelism, youth cleanup, and I'm like, yes, it's very necessary. But you know that there are some of us the youth that really need help. Like we need people to talk to. Stop judging us. Like come to us. In our church, everyone does very well to pray for people with emotional stress. But when you go out there, it's like it's a no. Like you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because like you are 12. What kind of emotional stress do you have? Nothing. Like the parents are paying your bills.
Yeah.
But there are people with really different like lifestyles, really different stories who really need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Who needs someone to like guide them. Jasmine, her issue with her father nearly turned into a monster. It was just Grace that intervened and that stopped her. If not, she wouldn't take her life.
Yeah.
And that could have all been prevented. You know, Kojo was lucky to have met Doris. Doris just
Bring him back on track.
brought back on track because and nothing altogether. Selassie was very, very lucky to have Jasmine, to have Doris, and then to have Hagen in her life. I mean, you are being abused by a man with a lot of power. DSP also coming up, like, and he's paying your uncle's money for doing it. Now you are being made to accuse an innocent man. I mean, a pastor. So these are things that happen every day, relatable situations. But we just the church, like it happens, but we're just too focused on. And that's for the kids. I know there are ladies who are giving themselves to men, not because they want the money to, just like Jasmine did, not because they want the money to, but because they also want to feel that validation that they do not belong to a particular person who heard them before. And I'm very happy that
You read the book.
Ama Pomaa has really decided to tackle this issue.
Yeah.
I think it's a book that every Christian like it should be in every Christian home.
Everybody, whether Christian or not.
Emotional problems are not. They are seen as a no-go area in our Ghanaian society. It's wrong. Let's talk about them. Now the only until recently, the only counseling centers we had were for married people. If your wife is being rude to you, your husband is beating you. I mean, but there are real emotional problems out there we need to talk about. And if you don't take care, it will turn people into. I'm very happy that she read the book. Yeah, she really would.
Yeah. So we really recommend this book. You have to get it. You have to read it. So if you're in Ghana, you want to read this book, just go to Instagram, follow a lady who loves to read, DM her, she'll get you one.
My lesson from the book, my lesson from the book was really forgiveness and praying for those who really hurt you. If you can't pray for those who hurt you, then you have not
Really forgiven.
And also confronting your pain, confronting it.
Yeah.
Even if it means going to see a counselor.
Dealing with your past was the biggest takeaway for me. And then when you're able to do that, forgive yourself, then you can forgive others and love others.
And never ever do anything without consulting God. If God says no, please walk away. Even if he's very handsome, walk away. Walk away.
Thank you, Kathy, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the book for the month of May, this is another amazing book, Bad Girls of the Bible. I can't wait. I can't wait for who I'll be reviewing this book with. I've read it before. It's been a long time, so I can't wait to read it again. So if you want to be on the set to review this book with me, just go to Instagram. I'll put my handle down there. Glow with Match. I will share a flyer with the book. All you have to do is repost it with the hashtag, and then randomly we select someone. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. Can I spin the chair?
Can you do it?
Can I spin the chair?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Okay, come sit. Hi. Relax with.